Boris Johnson's coal mines gaffe is just the latest in a series of frustrations with the Prime Minister slowly building among Red Wall voters, a pollster has said. The Conservative leader has been warned he is no longer enjoying the hefty heights of popularity that he saw 2 months ago when the Tories overwhelmingly won the Hartlepool by-election. A series of scandals, perceived blunders, and U-turns have been blamed for a collapse in support for the Prime Minister. A recent poll of Tory party members put net satisfaction rating for Mr. Johnson at just 3.4%, a drop of 35 points since the last survey a month ago. Yesterday, Mr. Johnson risked further angering voters in the Red Wall seats that helped him secure the 2019 election win after he claimed that Margaret Thatcher had given the UK an early start in the shift away from fossil fuels by closing pits. The Prime Minister's comments have been condemned by both Labour and the SNP. Speaking to Express.co.uk, pollster James Johnson, who ran polling for Theresa May when she was in number 10, admitted the remarks would raise an eyebrow among Red Wall voters. He said, "I don't think there's any way you can spin this comment as a good thing. Clearly this sort of line is not going to go down well in these areas." But he added the remarks were not as damaging among 2019 voters as some were claiming, and there were far greater frustrations with the Prime Minister. He said, the voters that the Conservatives won from Labour in 2019 were largely between the age of 45 and early 60s. Most of them, on that medium age, would have been about 10 or 15 years old when the mines were closed, if that. I'm not convinced that many of these voters will have it front of mind. I'm not convinced this is the issue that breaks Boris Johnson amongst the people he won a couple of years ago. The pollster from JL Partners added, "I think Boris Johnson is having a bit of a moment. His bounce is wearing off a bit from the vaccine. I don't think we're in the hefty days of the Hartlepool by-election anymore. People have questions about Boris Johnson on strength. People often talk in the focus groups in the Red Wall about this feeling that they voted for this guy who they thought was going to get Brexit done, they thought was a real force of nature who went with his gut rather than what was popular.